If you are from the United States, you have probably used units like Fahrenheit, pounds, and miles. But just across the border to the north is Canada, where people use units like Celsius, grams, and kilometers. But what is a unit, and how do you convert it? A unit is simply a way to measure something. That something could be a length, like how tall is the Burj Khalifa, a speed, like how fast a lion can run, a volume, like how much water you drank yesterday, a mass, like your luggage when you're checking it at the airport, a currency, like how much it costs to buy your favorite meal, or even something trivial, like how many bananas are in your kitchen right now. Long story short, almost anything you can count or measure can be expressed with a unit. In the past, people around the world made up all sorts of names for measuring stuff, like how long or heavy things were. It was very confusing. So the French people decided to make a system called the metric system to make life simpler. Now, almost every country uses the metric system, except the United States, where they still like their old-school imperial system. But why is it so important to use just one system of units? In 1999, NASA's Mars Climate Orbiter, built to study Mars's weather, was lost because of a unit mix-up. One team used metric units like meters, while another used imperial units like feet for navigation. This error confused the spacecraft, causing it to fly too close to Mars and likely burned up in the atmosphere or skipped off into space, resulting in a loss of $125 million. Now, let's get straight to the point. To convert one unit to another, you need to follow two simple rules. The first is to make sure the conversion is possible. This may sound like a stupid rule, but not all conversions are possible. So, to know if a conversion is possible, you need to know the type of both units and the context of the conversion. First, both units need to be of the same type: length to length, mass to mass, speed to speed, unless there is a specific context that allows otherwise. Secondly, you need to check if there is any context. Context allows you to understand what kind of situation you're dealing with. Context can change everything. For example, normally it wouldn't be possible to convert 5 pounds to liters, but if I tell you it's 5 pounds of oxygen at 25 degrees Celsius and 101.3 kilopascals, that changes everything and makes the conversion possible. The good news, most colleges and universities will provide context when it's needed. Now that we have seen the first rule, let's look at the second and final rule, which is finding the right technique to make the conversion. This is the most crucial part of doing a unit conversion. First method, the formula. To use this method, you need to know the formula and apply it correctly. It is mostly used for unit conversions that are not proportional. Second method, the use of conversion factors. This is the most commonly used method for converting units, and it relies entirely on the use of conversion factors. And lastly, as a bonus, you can be creative. This one has no limitations. Now that we have seen the methods of conversion, let's work through a few practical examples to better understand the lesson. Now let's convert 80 degrees Fahrenheit to degrees Celsius. Step 1. Let's see if it is possible. Are they the same unit? Yes. Is there a context? No. Conclusion? It is possible. Step 2. Do we have to use a formula? Yes. Use of a conversion factor? No. If you do not know the formula or unit of conversion, please look at this table and feel free to take a screenshot. Now, let's proceed by applying the formula. And here is our result. 80 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 26.67 degrees Celsius. Having explored the formula technique in this exercise, we will now apply the conversion factor method to our next case. Now let's convert 3 miles to kilometers. Step 1. Check if conversion is possible. Are they the same type of unit? Yes, they're both units of distance. Is there any specific context? No. Step 2. Decide which method to use. Should we use a formula? No. A conversion factor? Yes. But before solving this exercise, let's first understand how to use a conversion factor. To convert units using a conversion factor, you need to multiply the value with the unit you currently have by the conversion factor. A conversion factor is a fraction, which consists of a numerator, the value on top, and a denominator, the value on the bottom. Now you might be wondering, what goes in the numerator and what goes in the denominator? As a general rule, you put the unit that looks least like the one you're converting in the numerator, and the unit that looks most like the one you're converting in the denominator. If you're unsure how to multiply a number by a fraction, it's simple. Multiply the number by the numerator, then divide the result by the denominator, and that's it. Now that we've seen how to do unit conversions using a conversion factor, let's look at a case where we don't have a conversion factor. Let's convert 30 miles per hour to feet per second. Step 1. Is it possible? Yes. What method should we use? We have to use a conversion factor. But here's the catch. We don't actually have a conversion factor for this case. What should we do? We should create the conversion factor. To create a conversion factor, you need to know the relationship between the two units, both in the numerator and the denominator, and then express that relationship as a fraction. In our case, we know that 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet, and 1 hour is equal to 3,600 seconds. Here's my advice. Start with the unit you have on the left and the unit you want to convert to on the right, then place a blank fraction in the middle. This will serve as your conversion factor. Now, all we have to do is multiply our value by the conversion factor, and that's it. Congratulations! If you've made it this far, you've just completed the most important and sometimes most challenging step in unit conversions. For most situations, this is all you'll need to convert between units. But let's keep going with some practical exercises. Our next exercise, let's try to convert 5 pounds to liters. This one's a bit trickier. Ready? Let's dive in. To convert 5 pounds to liters, you first need to determine if the conversion is possible. Are both units of the same type? No. Is there a context that allows it? No. Conclusion: this conversion is not possible. Now, look at this case. This is a common exercise in chemistry, so if you don't fully understand it, don't worry about it. However, I'm going to get straight to the point to save time. If you look at this exercise, you'll notice it's the same as the previous one, except this one has context. This context allows the conversion to be possible, and it also determines the method we'll use to solve it. In this case, we need to use a formula and apply it. If you're interested in this exercise, feel free to pause the video, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments. You have reached the end of this tutorial, and as you may have noticed, we haven't done any examples using the creative technique. That's intentional. There are actually more ways to convert units than just using a formula or a conversion factor. But I've left them for you to discover and find the ones that make your life easier. Thank you for watching. And if you'd like another tutorial on a different topic, feel free to like this video, leave a comment, and please consider subscribing to our channel if this helped you.